The BMW 5 Series Touring is a prestigious, spacious estate car designed for business and family life and is available in rear-wheel drive as well as four-wheel drive. Here's Motor One's guide to the things we like, the things we don't like, and what the best specification would be when making your choice. Quite often, estate cars that have been born from saloon cars, like this 5 Series, look like they've had a conservatory grafted onto the back, but not in this case. In fact, to our eyes, we'd go as far as saying that this car is better looking than the saloon on which it's based, and it is super practical. As with most BMW wagons, you can actually open this rear section of tailgate separately to the main boot, and this is very handy for when you're just chucking in the occasional items of luggage. But then when you do open the main tailgate, you'll see a very wide, low and flat loading bay for all your stuff, with plenty of 12-volt connectors, secret storage cubbies, and the space is massive. It's got more than enough load carrying capacity for a set of family luggage or even a dog. And you don't even need to worry about overloading this area because each model comes equipped with self-leveling rear air suspension. And when you're not using this privacy blind, it all stores quite neatly under the boot floor. In fact, this whole sense of space translates into the cabin. If you look at these rear seats, for example, you've got absolutely loads of knee room and headroom, and there's ISOFIX points for 2 child car seats, plus loads of storage for cups, for iPads and all your headphones and gubbins. In fact, the only person that might struggle back here is the person that sits in this middle chair. But even then, the seat is nice and wide for you to put both of your legs either side of this huge transmission tunnel. BMW's got a good reputation for ride and handling, but it has nailed the brief on this 5 Series Touring. You want your estate car to offer comfort and malmunching ability, but at the same time, it still needs to be fun and characterful to drive, and this car does that. It might not be as engaging to drive as the 3 Series Touring, but that's a smaller car. This thing is more composed, it's more refined, yet still engaging to drive, and it's beautifully balanced. The driving position is excellent too. You can be as aggressive as you like through these corners, and it just deals with it. And despite this dynamic benchmark being set so high, the way it goes through corners so fluidly is also brilliant. And we're talking comfier than a Mercedes E-Class kinds of brilliant. There is one caveat to that, and it's this optional adaptive dampers, which is a must-have for any 5 Series. The level of equipment on offer in here almost matches that of the bigger, more expensive BMW 7 Series. Standard kit includes LED headlamps, a suite of digital dials that greet you on your way in, plus the BMW Professional infotainment system that is now operated via voice control or swiping on this touchscreen or the traditional rotary wheel, and it is super user-friendly. New technology options include wireless phone charging, gesture control, Apple CarPlay, plus a brilliant heads-up display. Another new development is this key, which does look like a bit of a brick, but it does offer lots of functionality, including being able to remotely check whether the car has been locked or whether the windows are up, what your fuel range is like, plus being able to set the climate control for tomorrow's commute. It still is a little bit glitchy, it's quite slow to scroll through the menus, and it does require regular charging, but it does give you an idea of how the phone and the key are slowly converging. Lovely though the petrol engines are, the majority of UK sales will be diesel, and the 520D is the best-selling model bar none. Even today, this diesel makes total sense. It's clean, it's brisk, it's frugal, and as far as 4-cylinder diesel units go, it's pretty quiet too. That said, if you don't mind stretching the budget a little bit more and sacrificing a few more emissions, then you could actually get into the 530D, which is more cultured, it's super refined, and it offers so much more performance. Torque is the key figure here. That's the force that you feel when you accelerate. And the 530D has loads of it, and that's great for touring, it's great for towing, taking all your family's luggage, not to mention offering a more satisfying drive. And the way it behaves is almost more like a petrol, happy to rev and well matched to the 8-speed automatic gearbox. BMW isn't the only car maker guilty of this, but what we find quite cheeky is that the base price of the 5 Series Touring doesn't really tell the whole story. While you might get LED lights and reverse parking sensors as standard, there are other items on this list that should be standard, which aren't. The result being is that you're going to be spending thousands of pounds more than the list price suggests, which could be a bit of a shock. In a category full of prestigious estate cars, the 5 Series Touring is one of the best. It's deeply practical, comfortable for the entire family, and yet still entertaining to drive. In fact, it's all the car you could ever need. The 5 Series Touring always looks and more importantly performs better come resale in restrained colours, so go for something like this Sophisto Grey Metallic, and if you want full stealth mode then you can select the high gloss exterior trim to delete all the chrome. This being the performance obsessed UK, the M Sport pack is a very popular option, as are 19-inch alloy wheels, though be prepared the ride will be a little bit firmer. Regardless of whether you go for this or the standard setup, you must tick those adaptive dampers. Add the tech pack, which gives you gesture control, a Wi-Fi hotspot, the brilliant heads-up display, plus this key that thinks it's a smartphone. But don't bother with items such as soft closing doors, the privacy blinds, or the rear screens in the back for the kids. You're much better just saving your money and buying them a couple of iPads. Remember, if you've got any questions you want to ask me or the team about the 5 Series Touring.